Sanibona. Welcome to this presentation on congruency. So first you must know what's the meaning of the word congruency. So if you look here, we have one tile, and then if we take another tile and if we compare them, they're exactly the same size. So these two tiles are congruent. Now the color doesn't matter, but the sides matter, the sides matter, the sides, the angles, the angles, the angles, and the angles. And obviously their areas are equal. So let's take another example. Let's take another example. We have two tiles here. If we compare them, they're exactly the same size. So that's the meaning of congruency. They're exactly the same size. Their sides are the same. And their angles are the same when you compare them. So we are going to be studying congruency in triangles. So let's have a look at these two triangles. Alright, we've got a green one and a white one. When we compare them, you'll find that these two triangles fit exactly one upon the other. So they are congruent. So if two triangles are congruent, then they'll have their sides equal, that sides will be equal, these sides will be equal, these angles will be equal, those angles will be equal, and those angles will be equal. Plus their area will be equal. So in other words, if two triangles are congruent, they will have 7 pairs of parts that are equal. 3 pairs of sides and 3 pairs of angles and their areas. So congruency means that they are exactly the same. Color doesn't matter. So if we take one more example, here we have two triangles. If we compare them, put them one upon the other, they fit exactly the same. Triangle 1 is fitting on triangle 2, exactly the same. So these triangles are congruent. But in geometry, we're not going to be doing it practically like this. We will have to prove triangles congruent. So let's go step by step and see how we're going to prove triangles congruent. So before we prove triangles congruent, let's look at some notes. What is congruency? So congruency means two triangles are exactly the same. The 3 sides of one triangle are equal to the 3 sides of the other triangle. The 3 angles of one triangle is equal to the 3 angles of the other triangle. And the area of one triangle is equal to the area of the other triangle. So all in all, 7 pairs will be equal. If you look in this diagram here, this side is equal to that side. So that's one pair. Then that side, AC is equal to PR. That's the second pair. Then BC is equal to QR. That's the third pair. So 3 pairs of sides are equal. Then if you look at the angles, you got X here and you got X there. You got Y here, you got Y there. You got Z here, you got Z here. So 3 pairs of angles are equal. And their areas will also be equal. So that's the meaning of congruency. Means they are exactly the same, and therefore 7 parts will be equal, 7 pairs of parts when we compare two triangles. Now what is the symbol for congruency? The symbol for congruency is a equal to sign with one extra line. So you got 3 lines here. So that's a symbol for congruency. So we will say that ABC is congruent. ABC is congruent to QPR. Now see carefully what I'm doing. I said A, B, C. I went from Z to X, then to Y. Therefore, when I go on the next triangle, I must go from Z to X and to Y. Therefore, I have to say Q, P, R. In other words, when we label triangles in congruency, we label them in a certain order. We label them in a certain order. The first one you label anyhow you like, A, B, C. But when you said A, B, C, you actually moved from Z to X and then to Y. So in the second one, you'll have to move from Z to X to Y. Therefore, the name for the second one will be Q, P, R. All right. So I can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle QPR. Right. Now, there are 4 cases of congruency that you have to study. So let us look at the 4 cases. Now here is the first case. So what's going to happen in geometry, you'll be given 2 triangles. You'll always be given 2 triangles. I've just drawn one just to show you. You'll be given, so what is the first case? The first case is called side, angle, side. In other words, what we're saying is, if you give me 2 triangles, and in these 2 triangles, I can see that the side here is equal to the side there. The angle here is equal to the angle there. And this side is equal to that side. So it's called a case of side, angle, side. So the angle must be included between the 2 sides. Sorry about that. So the angle must be included between the 2 sides. Now, let's go to the second case. So the first case is called side, angle, side. And remember, the angle must be included between the 2 sides. If the angle is not included, the triangles will not be congruent. So that's our first case. Now let's go to the second case. Now that second case is called side, side, side. So you will be given 2 triangles. So let's say you were given that one, call that A, B, C, and you'll be given another one, P, Q, R. And when you look at these 2 triangles carefully, you'll find that AB is equal to PR. AC is equal to QR. And I think AB is equal to PR. AC is equal to QR. BC is equal to PQ. So 3 sides of this triangle is equal to 3 sides of this triangle. Therefore, these 2 triangles will be congruent. So in other words, what we're saying is you'll be given 2 triangles, and all you have to do is only prove 3 things equal. Then automatically 4 more things will become equal. You see, there are 7 things equal here. There are 7 parts equal here. But here, I'm only giving you 3 parts in one, 3 parts in the other. If these 3 parts are equal, then the remaining 4 parts will also be equal. When I do a proof, you'll understand it more clearly. So the second case is called side, side, side. This is the easiest case because 3 sides of one triangle must equal to 3 sides of another triangle. So that was case 1, case 2. Now we go to the third case. The third case is called 90 degrees, hypotenuse, and one side. So you will be given 2 triangles. Now these two triangles have a 90 degree. They both have the hypotenuse equal. And both have one side equal. So this case is called 90 degree hypotenuse and side. If you see 90, 90. Hypotenuse marked 2, hypotenuse marked with 2. One side marked with one stroke, one side marked with one stroke. So these two triangles are congruent, or this is the case of 90 degrees, hypotenuse and one side. So that's the third case. And now we're going to move on to the last case, which is called angle, angle, side. So let's just draw another diagram here. So if you're looking at number 4, you will see that in one triangle here, you are given two angles, x and y, and one side. If you look at this triangle here, you are given x, you got x. You are given y, you got y. You got one side marked with one stroke, you got one side marked with one stroke. So you got two angles and a side, you got two angles and a side. Now there's a note here. It says the side must be corresponding. What is the meaning of this? The side must be corresponding. So if you see, this side is opposite the blank angle. This side, MN, is opposite the blank angle. Therefore, in the other triangle, the side must also be opposite the blank angle. Then only the sides are corresponding. So in these two examples, you can see that the sides are corresponding. This side is opposite the blank angle. This side is opposite the blank angle. Therefore, we have what is called two angles and a side, two angles and a side, and the case is called angle, angle, side. So there are 4 cases of congruency. These are the 4 cases: side, angle, side, 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 90 degrees hypotenuse and side, angle, angle, side. Now in the next video, we are going to show you how to prove two triangles are congruent. I only told you they are congruent, but in the next video, we will show you how to prove that two triangles are congruent. And also you will learn how to make deductions. Alright, so that will be the end of the first DVD and video, and then we will move on to lesson 2.